Hi, and welcome back to Live, Learn, Inspire, the podcast where we like to share inspiring, informative, and educational stories. I'm your host, Albert Emmanuel, together with co-host Sajid Balole Gamwanya, or Kwasi for our Ghanaian friends. And welcome to our friend and guest for the day, Mr. Hamza Omar.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure, man. We've been waiting.
I mean, he's got some questions for you, right? But I'd like to open up with, you lived in, of course, you grew up in Norway, but you lived in Kenya and China.
Correct.
Right? You built a business abroad. And then COVID kind of, affected your business,
100%.
the momentum you lost a bit
100%.
during COVID time, right? But then you came back to Norway and started rebuilding,
Of course.
right? But when looking back, which version of you had to let behind for Omar to exist today?
Which version of me?
Yeah.
Firstly, before I even start, I want to give you guys congratulations.
Thank you,
You
brother.
guys have come far.
Thank you, brother.
I was one of the guys who when this idea about the podcast came about, and I remember you was speaking about it. You guys was talking about it.
Yeah.
So I see now even the team behind the camera. So I want to give you guys a round of applause.
Thank you, man.
Thank you,
Thank you.
This is amazing. This is number one show. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, man.
To answer your question, to be honest with you, throughout my journey today, I'm a father. I'm a married man, and constantly you have to reinvent yourself. Constantly, you have to become a better version of yourself, right? You have to mature. You have to grow up. Certain things which you wouldn't think you would have the mentality or the thinking ways when you was younger. It's completely different now. Priorities are different, right?
100%. Yeah.
Especially when you become a father of a little girl.
Yeah.
You think about life completely differently.
Yeah.
Before I was thinking about myself. Today I'm thinking about every decision that I make is about her.
Wow.
And how her life is gonna be better than mine, right? So that's my greatest motivation, to be honest with you. To be a better version for her and make sure that all of my decisions impacts her and her future permanently.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear, man.
Love that. Yeah. We touched upon it briefly before we started.
Right.
You grew up in Trondheim,
True.
right? So, and I'm curious on basically your experience growing up in Norway, in Trondheim, and having a different background. The family values
Right.
that you had compared
Right.
to maybe your classmates and all that, right?
Born and raised in Norway, St. Olav's Hospital,
He is,
Trondheim.
Yes.
of course.
That's where we
Yeah,
got to know each other.
yeah.
We go way back, right?
100%.
I grew up in a little place called Flatåsen,
Flat Hill.
Flat Hill, right?
Yeah.
And that's where me and Albert met.
100%.
We used to
yeah.
play in the same football team.
You guys
right?
play for Flatåsen?
True, we played for
That's where we
Flatåsen.
started, man. Yeah.
So I was born and raised and was living my whole life in Flatåsen until I was maybe 12, right? And I was raised by parents who came to Norway when they were 40s, right?
Yeah.
My mother came here first, pregnant with me. As soon as she arrived, she was 8 months pregnant with me. She came to Norway, no family, no help,
Wow.
doesn't know anybody. In winter time, October, right? I was born in November. And she went straight into asylum, trying to figure out her life, trying to figure out what she's going to do. Hospital, giving birth to me.
Yeah.
After that, going into asylum. And you know how it is. When you live in an asylum, you live with other people who is also from different backgrounds of culture and countries and who's trying to get citizenship in Norway.
100%. Yeah.
So she raised me by herself until I was 5 years old. Then my father came. And
May I just ask,
Yeah.
where did your mom, move to Norway from?
my mother, she lived in Somalia.
Okay.
And my grandmother, my mother's father, he was military.
Okay.
So she was raised with 3 boys. She's the only girl. So she was kind of raised like a boy. Strict father. African type of standards. You know, the
Yeah.
war happened in Somalia.
Yeah.
And she had to figure out,
Yeah.
is this the place where I want my children to have a future? Or should I see other opportunities out there? So her bigger brother, he left 3 years prior, but he went to Sweden.
All right.
And he was like, come to Sweden, I'll help you out, blah, blah, blah. She said no. So she figured out her own lane, come to Norway, right? So that's how it really happened. There was no plan behind it. It was just a better future for her children.
Yeah.
That's how.
Just
I
like
came
you're
about
talking
a
about
strong,
the better
devoted
future.
mother
Right.
that
Yeah.
was
Right.
so strong.
Right. You guys probably have the similar story.
Yes.
Right.
100%.
So when you have that kind of background and you live in Flatåsen and you're raised in Flatåsen, which is predominantly white place. I think in my whole class it was probably me and one guy from El Salvador.
El
Salvador. His name was Alexander. Right? I even remember him. We were the only foreigners in our
Alexander
class.
from El Salvador.
Right.
Did he speak Spanish?
Yes, of course. He had the Spanish family, the food. So you always felt that feeling. You never fit in. You never, fit in.
Yeah.
You even remember, Albert, me and you, we have a similar story because we played in the same football team. And what they used to do is sometimes, all the fathers, they used to drive their sons to the football game. For us, who didn't have a father figure.
You're laughing.
Right? You know.
I'm in the same boat.
Right.
That's what I'm laughing. I'm in the
Right.
same boat.
So for the viewers who don't know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
For us,
With foreign background, right?
foreign backgrounds,
Yeah.
who didn't have a father figure who was actively in our life, we used to meet in the benzene station, petrol station, so that we can sit in the car
Yes.
of the other. Of the
Get a
other
lift from
parent.
someone, innit? Yeah,
To get a lift from somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you always had that feeling whereby we never fit in. We always have to ask to sit in the car or ask for a lift to get to the football game. Sometimes even there was a small fee of 1,000 kroner, I think, at that time, which was kind of an insurance you have to pay for the football.
yeah.
You remember that?
To be a part of
Yeah. So when you pay late, they come knocking on the door. They ask you for that 1,000 kroner. You haven't paid the factura.
Yes. Or you're not.
Your invoice is
or you're
not
not being
paid,
part of
man.
the team. You're not being part of
Or
the team.
you will not be part of the team.
Yeah.
And even though Albert, he was kind of a better player than mine. He was a better player than me. Sometimes they will even bench us to let their sons play, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Because
true.
our fathers are not there, our parents is not there.
No, they don't show up.
They don't show up.
Yeah.
So it was kind of difficult always figuring out your identity in a you born here, you raised here, you feel like a Norwegian, but you don't look like one. So you kind of been treated differently, and you're trying to figure out your identity all the time, right? So that was the journey. Truly.
Yeah. But then something changed at the age of 15, isn't it?
True.
Yeah. You took a trip to Kenya, right?
Right.
Or was it to the UK first?
It was what happened was around 12, 13. My mother, she was studying to become a morsmålärare, teacher.
Yeah.
You guys want to explain what a morsmålärare is?
I mean,
Basically, being a teacher for, call it mother tongue,
True.
right? Basically, Somali
Right.
teacher.
Right. So in Norway, they have that system whereby they want to teach the kids their mother tongue. So they kind of imply in the school system a teacher who has gone to university and studied, who can speak the mother tongue once a week to come and teach the children their mother tongue, right? So my mother was that kind of a teacher. So she would work different types of schools in a day. You go to 4 or 5 different types of schools, teach different kids, right? So at the age of 12, 13, we had to move from Flatåsen to Trondheim. That's how I met Serge and his
Yes,
brother.
welcome
Right?
to that place is amazing, bro. That place is
Trondheim.
amazing.
It depends who you ask.
Man, come on.
Depends who you ask. Because if you ask me, I'm like, Buran is the place to be. You know what I mean?
Hey, that place is dangerous, man.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So at the age of 13, we moved to Trondheim. So within those 2 years, before I became 15, I joined the wrong crew. Started, hanging around the wrong friends, being naughty, as a young.
Yeah, I mean, young adult, trying, you're still figuring things out as well, right?
True.
So it's like,
Identity crisis.
exploring things.
Right. There's a lot of things going on. Identity crisis. You don't know who you are yet, right? You're trying to, you're going in so many different directions.
And Katem will put you in that shit. Katem and Constant.
100%. Why?
Why?
Because a lot of kids that live there, we were crazy.
Of course.
We didn't want to do anything. We would just be out there and fight each other and wake up. Yeah.
Right. But the main reason is because Katem Katem is the area where a lot of children with different backgrounds are there, right? Different foreign backgrounds with the same kind of crisis. So when they come together, there's nothing good happening.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
It's going left.
That's true.
So when that identity crisis kind of happened, and I'm starting, coming late home, and my mother, she's very disciplined. You have to study. You have to take your education seriously. You have to wake up early. Make your bed, stuff like that. I'm coming home 1 a.m. in the morning. I think I'm a big boy. Right? Do what I want to do. Nobody can tell me nothing. Right?
You can't tell me nothing.
You can't tell me nothing. Right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
They listen, they laugh.
Until I reached 15 years old. My mother showed me a picture of Kenya. Right?
Yeah.
She said, look at this. I said, wow, that's amazing. So she showed me, a beautiful safari with water park. Something I haven't seen in Norway, right? We're going on a holiday there. Really?
Yeah.
All right. Amazing. So I'm telling my friends, I'm going on a holiday.
Yeah.
We've never been on a holiday before.
Okay.
Every summer, right? Every summer, our Norwegian colleagues, after you come back from summer holiday, they ask the classmates, where have you been this summer? They say, we went to Spain. We went to Barcelona. I was here. Right? I didn't go anywhere, right? That was the first holiday.
Where we used to hang, football field all summer. Also, we had 5 p.m. everybody at Katem Stadium. Every summer, all of us.
Right.
Just there. And no Norwegian, just us. We're kids with different background. All summer. So when they ask us in class, I agree. Where have you been all summer? Outside, right there. You can see us.
We've been taking care of the football pitch.
We've been taking care of the football pitch. We've been running. We've been jogging. We've been working out.
We've been fighting other kids and stuff. If you're not from Katem, you pass by that football field, we fight you.
That's
for no damn reason.
Yeah. It's your area. You're looking after the pitch.
Yes. This is our territory. Don't move. Don't come over here.
So I'm telling all my friends before the summer, I'm going on a holiday. Where are you going? I'm going to Kenya. Really? Yeah. So I showed them the same picture that my mother showed. Right. Jump on a plane. This is how I reached Kenya, right? Jump on a plane. Me and my mom. An uncle is picking us up from the airport, right?
Yeah.
Picks us up. I really go to the water park the first. I think it was the second day.
Yeah.
The third day, my uncle picks me up. They drive me to. It's called Nyali Integrated Academy. This is a military school. Where you are about to find out who you really are, right? This is a disciplinary school.
All right. You're laughing.
Yeah.
I know. I'm excited.
My mother, the reason why she's doing this is you have to know who you are. You're an African. Don't get lost in the sauce. We are in Norway to find a better opportunity for yourself in your future. Don't think that you're one of these kids who's gonna just
take a left.
Take a left and no, right? So I was in that school for a year and a half, learning everything, discipline, waking up early in the morning,
But when you say it's like a military camp, walk us through what does that mean for someone that doesn't really understand? What do you mean?
Basically, this school is a school where it's owned by a Somali guy, right?
All right.
And it's basically a school where all either European or Canadian or American children who are on the wrong path come here to kind of be straightened up.
I see. Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you learn the culture, you learn religion, you learn how to be a man. Wake up, take care of yourself, take care of, wash your clothes, iron your clothes. Really becoming a man. So
interesting, but I'm like, seems like that thing is very well known, globally for Somali people, right? how does he market that? Like the marketing for actually attracting people from all these different countries. How does
he
that
really
work?
doesn't market it. Somalis, they have that culture whereby if I tell you something, right? Remember, these are people who come from a country who's war-torn. And they're desperate for the opportunity for their children to have a better life than what they had, right? So whether I tell you something that is going to make your children better, they want to try it out, right? So how we came about it, it was another mother who did the same to her son. She said, wow, my son went there. He was there for 1.5 years. He did amazing. He came back a whole new man.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's try that as well. That's how it came about.
Goes and tell other
But it's
parents.
It's an interesting concept, right? Because you mentioned military camp, right? But then I'm thinking of the what we have in Norway as Førstegangstjeneste, right? It's also kind of similar thing, like where you go away for 1 year when you are around 18, just after you finish your is it senior high, right? And it's also due to the same reason, like most of these kids, they are just turning 18.
Right.
They are not really sure who they are. They need to figure themselves out.
Right.
And it's good for a lot of them because after this 1 year of military, most of them come out knowing exactly what they want after life as well. So
But don't get it twisted. This is the African version.
Okay.
This is the
Can you
African
explain?
version.
How is the African version?
Let me tell you the African version.
Military, yes.
Right? Everybody has a room.
Yes.
yeah,
Early in the morning, you have to be standing by your bed at 5:45 with your clothes ironed and straightened up, waiting for the door to be open. I thought this is a rule I can break. Let me sleep in. This is the first, second day, right? The guy opens the door. He has a cane. He's waking me up with the cane.
Whoop your ass.
Whooping my ass, right? So for the viewers, we 2026. This my here crazy or this is wild. But this is back in 2015, 2014, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
2010. 2009.
Father,
Right.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So our parents, even the Norwegian, they can say that their parents used to whoop them, in 1994, 1990. This is not normal. Now it's completely different. But back in the days, the only way to discipline a child was to give him a spanking, right? If they didn't understand what really this is. Same in Eastern Europe, right? Same in Africa. Same in globally around the world.
Yeah.
So that was the disciplinary part, where if you don't obey the law, there is consequences. You about to get your ass whooped. That's what it meant.
The punishment, right?
So you just be laying, you just hear behind your back like, wah!
No.
Fimbo, you go up there, you're like,
Fimbo. He will tell you sleep.
Yeah.
You have to sleep on the
lie
floor.
down.
Lie down. You will get 15. How many do you want? I want 0. All right, you will get 20. Right? So you would make sure, basically, it sounds harsh. Yes, I agree. But trust me, you are not going to do that same mistake again.
No. Of course not.
Right.
You remember the test of that, the
Yeah.
previous one.
Yeah,
100%.
100% learn from
So,
that. Yeah.
so today, where I'm at today, I'm going to tell you the truth. Every day when I talk to my mother, I say thank you for that experience.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would have been without that experience.
Yeah.
Because that experience shaped me completely. My mindset, my gratitude, my thankfulness, my outlook on life completely changed.
Yeah.
Because when you into that, I have like you've been having now like a really good conversation, and kind of tie in with my life. But because your mom was pregnant with you before she moved from Somalia to here, you know, and she had to be tough, like you said. She was a woman of strength and had to probably break down certain doors that it was hard back then.
Right.
And then you also, when you were born, you had to go through this school.
100%.
So will you say like both your mom being a strong woman and you have to go through have shaped you to become this strong
100%.
type of person that you are?
100%.
Or is it just one side of it that made
No,
you?
100%. My mother, let me tell you, man, my mother, she's the strongest person I know. She's been through hell and back, for her children. It's all of our mothers, right? And even when she gave birth to me in St. Olaf's Hospital, sometimes we even talk about this history, right? While she was pregnant, because my mother, she couldn't have the ability to give naturally. She never gave naturally birth to any of her children. So it was a C-section.
Oh, I see.
So what happened was, the first time, the operation, C-section, they take me out and then they sew back the stomach, right?
Yeah.
One of the doctors in Santulov Hospital, this is 1994, forgot one of the gloves that he was using in the stomach.
Oh.
The stomach, after an hour or two, becomes like a balloon.
Oh my
infection,
days.
right? And then they start figuring out what's going on. She's telling me this, right? What's going on? Doctor comes in and then they figure out it's a glove in there. They open it again, take out the glove, wash up, and then sew, right? Sometimes I asked my mom, I think it was a year ago, I was like, why didn't you go to the court? You would have been a multimillionaire. This is what I'm thinking, right? She said, how? First of all, where do I start? I'm struggling for my life.
Exactly.
Trying to survive.
Yeah.
This country has given me an opportunity of coming here and changing my life. And you're talking about taking him to court? I said, you're right. I said, you're right. When you think about it that way, I said,
You want me to be thrown out of the country?
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But what my mother has gone through in order for us to be where we are today and forever gratitude.
100%. Yeah, I love the fact that basically, even though it was more than being in Kenya, the camp is tougher than what we say as fish consciousness in Norway. It actually allowed you to connect with your culture more, your root, and basically learning
100%.
more about your beliefs as well, your religion. Right. So so that's
even who I am as a man.
It shaped you differently.
I'm blessed to say I'm a Norwegian born and raised here, but I'm also an African man. Right. When we can come back to that later. But when you go abroad and when you go traveling, you're representing yourself and you're representing your company. You represent also every part of yourself, right?
100%.
So
100%.
that's it.
After Kenya, right? Your journey also changed because from Kenya, you decided to go and study in China.
Correct.
Yes.
Right.
How did you actually get to that decision?
So one of the guys who I was in the camp with, he was Kenyan, right?
Yeah.
Kenyan Somali.
I see.
And he was telling me about China, the opportunities in China. And he was telling me that he was going to study there.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, okay. So when I came out of the camp, I was about 17 and a half, 18. Come back to Norway, finish up my education, videregående. And then I apply to see what happens, right? On 1920. See if I can get an opportunity to study my bachelor's there.
Yeah.
So, and he helped me with the process actually, because he was already there.
I see.
So he went there a year earlier. I'm asking him, how was it?
Wait, where in China was it again?
This is Hangzhou.
Hangzhou.
It's a city 45 minutes away from Shanghai.
I see.
So we Shanghai and Hangzhou is basically on the same path.
How is your Mandarin?
很好，
Yeah.
我会说中文啊。 So I can speak a bit of Chinese. I can understand it, speak it. Lived there for.
But is it mainly Mandarin or can you Cantonese as well?
No.
No, just Mandarin, yeah.
I mean, when you such a complex language as a Chinese language, you have to choose.
Yeah.
You either have to choose understanding.
Yeah.
You have to choose between speaking.
Yeah.
Or you have to choose reading.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, so I chose understanding and speaking.
Yeah.
I can't read one word. Yeah.
I hear you, man. I hear
it's
you.
very difficult.
But also, Cantonese is mainly spoken in Hong Kong, right? So it's also
Right.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
So that's basically how I ended up in China.
Yeah. So you did. Was it business studies you did? Yeah.
International economics.
What made you choose that?
To be honest with you, again, my mother, she wanted me to become a doctor. Dr. Omar. Right?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
I'm here to see Dr. Omar.
Right. Sounds very good. Dr. Omar, right? This is what you're going to become.
Yeah.
I'm glad, because the deal that I made with my mother before I traveled to China to study was because I didn't take no student loan or nothing like that. She said, I'm going to pay for your studies, but what I want from you is the certificate once you finish. You got 4.5 years on you, and then we can see after that. I say, all right. So what do you want to study? I say, I want to study business, international economics.
Yeah.
She said, all right, that's what you want to do? I said, that's what I want to do. And the type of person my mom is, she said, if the agreement that we went in, if I break that agreement, I know my life is over. You know, I know the trust. She will never look at me the same, right?
She might send you back to the camp.
Part two.
Part 2. This boy is back again.
So I took that serious. So I go to China. The first 6 months, you have to kind of, the program that they had was you have to kind of study the Chinese language. So you only study Chinese language.
I see.
Learn taxi, bus, you know, bread, kind of surviving language, right? So surviving new words. Hi, hello, bye, you know. Because the city that we lived in, Hangzhou, it was not as international as Shanghai or Beijing. People don't speak English there. So if you don't know how to speak Chinese, you're kind of in the wild west.
I mean,
it's
then
very
it's,
difficult.
it's forcing you to learn the language.
True.
Yeah.
Again, it's forcing you to survive. You know?
Yeah.
You go to a foreign language, foreign country, which don't speak English, and you're 19, 20, no friends, no family,
Wow.
and you have to survive. Right?
That's
Yeah.
tough.
So you get there, and in the classroom, you know, I'm looking around. I'm seeing there's all foreigners, right? There's few Chinese, but all foreigners. People from America, Canada, you know.
Again, the same
Europe.
type of areas, yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
Environment. But these are students.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
In the camp, he was naughty boy. These are students. These are people who are here, who wants to study, who wants a future, who think differently, right?
Yeah.
And we live kind of in the school as well. So the university is here. You live inside the school, so it's kind of a walking distance to your classrooms. So the first 6 months, I have to say, probably one of the difficult things I've done in life, right? Socially, no
Oh,
friends.
really?
Huh? Right. Socially,
Wow.
it's a different culture. You come from Norway, right?
Okay.
Norwegians, they're very, how can I say it? Culturally, they're known as being very introverts, right? Standoffish.
Yes.
Here you have different types of people from all around the world where you have to figure out how can I socially be, you know, navigate this, right? My roommate is a guy from Russia. He speaks Russian.
No English.
Broken English. We don't understand each other.
Nah.
Yeah. So the only thing I knew was football. And the university had a football team.
Yeah.
So,
The beautiful game, man.
right.
Yeah.
So that's where I use my social skills to create friends and kind of come inside of a social society through football.
Yeah. But you mentioned, you know, it was one of the most difficult thing to do, like creating, you know, friends, getting to know people, right? So you're saying it was more difficult than when you were in Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course.
Because in Kenya, you know, you have similar people who are from similar background. They're Somalis.
100%.
They're
Okay.
international kids.
Yeah.
And I also have family there, right? My mother's sister lived in Kenya.
I see,
So
I
she
see, I
used to
see.
come and she used to give me food weekly.
Yeah.
Used to give me money. So it was sort of kind of a family touch, right? China, there is no family touch.
Yeah, but the mindset shift though, because you have to have this certain mindset
Right.
shift. You know, being in that situation. Right.
And like, did that mindset shift that made you, because you could have chose to just go school and finish school and then maybe see what you're gonna do.
Right.
But you started working on something for yourself before you
100%.
even finish school.
100%.
Was that because of the mindset change that you saw?
It kind
or-
of changed through that journey because what I was seeing was I seen international kids who's coming to China. They're studying Chinese just to start a business. They want to come and create something, right? So now you speak into different kind of people with different mindsets who have different types of things going on. You come into the Chinese society, you mingle with Chinese residents who are also doing different types of business, connections. You know, through football, I started playing, you know, soccer matches. I started playing with Chinese people, right? Chinese teams.
I see.
And the Chinese teams are usually owned by rich men, rich Chinese guys, right? And they pay you for, that was actually one of my first jobs. We were playing football. It was like a D tier, E tier Chinese league. But they will pay you. So it will be survival, you know, playing, earning money, right?
Yeah.
So connections, becoming friends with these guys. And then one of the owners of the team, he said, "Yo, listen, I'm about to open up a football coaching staff. Maybe you want to
Be part of that.
become a coach."
Yeah.
That was my second job in China. So I became a football coach for primary school kids in China.
Awesome.
So after my studies, I would go there, teach them the little English that I knew, the little Chinese that I knew. Cho,
Well, that's the perfect opportunity as well because they are kids, so
Right.
the mistakes that you make,
Right.
it's like no one cares. Basically, you're
100%.
learning with them. You're maybe at the same level as them. You know what I
True,
mean? So it's
true.
like
yeah. So that's actually how I started working in China as well. Because in China it's very strict rules. You can't have a student visa and then working at the same time.
I see.
Because if you get caught by that, then it's
You're
cancellation
out.
visa. They send you back home.
Yeah.
So that's how my working journey started.
Yeah, because while you were in China, you also got into like entrepreneurship,
Right.
Right, you started
Right.
a business,
Right.
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 When was that you actually look into starting a business while you were in China?
So what happened was, I think this was my third year, third and a half year, right?
Yeah.
So it's about 1 year before I'm about to graduate. At this time, the football is over.
Yeah.
Coaching is also over. So I started English teaching. So this is completely illegal, right?
That's illegal.
That's illegal.
All right.
You can't be a student, have a student visa, and then go in and be an English teacher at a school. It's kind of illegal.
Yeah.
I found that out the hard way. I'm getting to it, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm working a year and a half, and English teaching is creating good money. This is about 10,000, 12,000 kroners, right? At that time, I'm a student. I'm earning amazing money.
As a student,
great.
that's
As a
good.
student.
Money. Yeah.
So I think this is going great. So I'm thinking maybe I can continue this after I'm done studying.
Yeah.
Reality hit. One day I'm in a classroom teaching the kids, and I see police is at the door. Right?
Yeah.
So the police, their job is to find out if the English teachers in these schools have visas.
Allah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I look out the window because there's a glass window. You can see
Who is out.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see who's outside, and I can see the boss lady. She's talking to the police officer. She's trying to cover. He's so good. He has the visa. Blah blah.
Yeah.
No, we have to see. You have to. We need the proof, right? So I'm in the classroom. There's no way to get out of
No
here.
window to jump.
No window to jump, right? So they open the door, come to the side, ask me for my documentation and my passport and my visa. Find out I don't have a visa. Put me to jail. 3 days.
yeah.
Right.
3 days in jail.
And a fine for $500 a day. So I think I
Oh,
paid
wow.
$1,500.
Yeah.
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 That's how the dream of becoming an English teacher ended.
You thought, I need to figure something
All
else.
right. I need to figure out something else.
Yeah.
This
Could
is
have
not
been
working.
Professor Omar.
Yeah.
No.
This is not working, right? And I also heard a lot of people, colleagues or a lot of national people who have been sent home because of doing that.
Yeah.
So I need to figure out something, right? So I had a friend who was a business-minded guy who always would talk business whenever we come around. I called him. I said, listen, I'm from Norway. I'm from Europe. Right? You're Chinese. Let's try to figure out something. And we just started sparring. We just started speaking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we came up with an idea because what we would see is at that time, this is 2017, 18, right? At that time, there was a lot of there was this website called Buy Now Hui. Now it's Alibaba, right? Where European, American, or foreign buyers would go to this website to try to find suppliers of whatever to link.
Yeah.
They pay the money up front, and then there was a lot of scams going on, bad reputation of the Chinese market of suppliers or warehouses who don't have the licenses to provide certain type of product for the foreign buyer, right?
Yeah.
So we came up with an idea where why can't we use our connections? The Chinese guy was well connected to collect the data of all the warehouses, all the suppliers in the area of Shanghai, Hangzhou, Guangzhou, EU, who was certified, had the license to provide that type of product, get their information, and then connect them with the international buyer, be the middleman. Right? That's how the idea came about. Open up the website, open up the business, and we started running. Started marketing, started sending out a lot of emails, to foreign buyers of what type of product it is, whether it is bed, wholesale, right? Tires, clothing, silk, whatever it is. And we got our first customer, second customer, third customer. That's just how the ball started rolling. Life was awesome.
You're living good. You're living that. Because, we can go into that. I remember this guy was, in China and every day, man, I could see just him. He's living too good. He became a boss. I started seeing him.
He became a boss.
He comes in the office. Somebody's filming him. I don't know if you hire somebody to film you. And people are sitting in the room like we are. He goes, you, today you're going to do this and this. You, today you're going to do this. And the people are like, yes, boss. And he's like, you. And I'm sitting on my phone. I texted him. I was like, I need to come and do what you do. I don't know what it is, but I need to do what you come and do. And I didn't ask once. I kind of like for entire week, I was like, bro, I'm serious about this. I need to. But then football kind of, catch me. So
you're a superstar, man. You're a football player.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you're living good, man. I liked it. I liked it.
But the business was going well, but then COVID hit.
True.
Right? True. So walk us through it, because that's when, it affected your
100%,
business in
100%.
China, right?
So what happened was, I think it was like for 2.5 years, we was running. Everything was amazing. I graduated. I got my business license. So now I'm here legally doing business and I have a working visa.
Nice one.
So whatever legals wise, I'm on a clean, right?
Yeah.
So what does that mean though? That means in China, for you to have a working visa, every 6 months you have to pay to stay in the country. You have to pay for the business visa. At that time, it was around $4,800 every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
That's 50,000 Norwegian crowns, right?
Yeah, I mean, the business needs to be doing well as well.
100%. Yeah. So if you kind of come to the decline or a minus side, you're in a hole, right?
Yeah.
So every 6 months or a year, let's say $10,000 you're paying for staying in the country. You have and things was going amazing, right? We're earning money. Me and my partner were doing well. Started traveling, going to Thailand, Bali, going around islands in China. Thinking, you know what? This is too good to be true. Right? This is too good to be true. Boom. COVID-19 hit. And this is a virus that came from Wuhan, China. So I'm going to give you guys a little secret. Coronavirus actually came the end of 2018. The rest of the world catch up. I think it was late 2019 or early 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
So you telling me that you already have seen people's symptoms and everything
100%.
Before we even...
100%. Okay. What China was very, very good on, until today, they are a communist country. The information is kind of locked in, right? You will not hear, even the Chinese in China, I didn't have YouTube, I didn't have Facebook, I didn't have Instagram. You need to have something called VPN, virtual private network, in order to kind of
connect with the rest of
the world. But the masses of China don't have that. So they only see what's on the Chinese news, Chinese YouTube, which is called Youku, right? Chinese Facebook, Chinese TikTok. And the government is controlling what's fed to the people. So they believe whatever they see. Right?
The mass media is controlled
100%.
Yeah.
This somebody who's in the West can say this is negative, right? Some others might say this is positive. How are you going to control 1.2 billion people? If they all live in free life and having the free thinking and mindset. I don't think China would have been
people.
I don't think China would have been where they are today, right? COVID-19, we started seeing symptoms of it. I think it was November, December 2018.
Damn.
Already first half year 2019, they had a solution to the problem. They had given us information of how to survive during this
What do you mean, like?
I'm gonna give you an example. So the work was shut down for a month or two. I think it was 2 months, right?
When was that? 2020, 2019?
This was January, February 2019, right?
That's like a year before things were shut
100%.
in the West. Yeah.
100%. So, and they didn't share this information with the rest of the West, right? So, aftermath, when I sit down and think about it, I know, I understand, and I get it. Because geopolitics, right? So, January, February 2019, we shut down. No business, nobody's moving. Everybody stay in their house. March, because it was a lot of sickness, you know. I would go inside my apartment, I would sleep, I would wake up the next morning, there's a new hospital built, you know, in front of our door. You know. The next day I would wake up, there's 3, 4, 5 hospitals, you know, built. The way they were moving was like this. It was crazy, you know.
So they knew.
Right. And then I think it was in April, they already had a solution on how people are going to function. That you have to download this app. You have to take the coronavirus test. If you take the test, your app will say green. If you have, and then you can see the map around everybody in your area. If you see red, that means that person has the virus.
Wow.
So they will kind of calculate each people who have the virus, take them to a hospital, you know, treat them, and then release them. You couldn't take a bus, transport, a train without this app. You have to scan it all the time. Right? So they already had the solution to the problem before it came to the rest of the world. China shut down for 2-3 months. They were back up again. And while Europe was down, China was up and moving.
Damn.
100%.
That's a crazy story, man.
That's crazy.
I kind of like hear about it, but I was not. That can be true. Now that somebody I've lived there said it, I'm like, yeah, it's fact.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I think why they did that, they didn't want to share the information with the rest of the world, is because they want to get ahead, right? Because when rest of the world is shut down and China is moving, economic-wise, what they did for their country, they are the only country now up and moving. So they multiplied 10 times by export, by business, by everything. Prices went up, right? So I even remember we sent a couple of containers of the masks and the gloves and, you know, the sanitizers and all of that. We was profiting, right? Business was doing amazing.
Was it business was booming?
Right.
Business is booming.
Because of that, was that one of the reasons why now you decided to come back home because of Corona, or did that shape like your ideas of where you wanted to go after?
Right. So what happened was, you know, the business that we were in, we see the traffic is going down, because we was dependent on not the internal Chinese business, but the external,
the export part, right?
The export part.
Yeah.
So when the import and export part takes a hit, we take a hit.
Of course.
By default.
Yeah.
So 5 months you can survive. 8 months you can survive. A year, you know, you have to pay for your visa. You have to pay salary for the workers, right? The office, you have to pay for that. Where you live, you have to pay. So things was drying up.
Yeah.
So COVID-19 came, swept us under, and we had to figure out a new solution. I was moving back to Norway.
Yeah. Wow. You know, the way the Chinese moved during COVID, like you said, building an hospital like just
fast.
In a night.
Within 2 weeks, guys. Within 2 weeks, there's a new hospital.
Like, how do you get people to work that hard though? Because you have to have people working 24/7.
100%.
Bro, they have to be willing to work too. I think like they love their country so much. Then I feel like both Japan and China, they are so obsessed with improving.
Right.
So it's like, how can we improve our people?
100%.
What I love about some Asian country is that they're looking to make life of their people easy. Everyday life to be easy and not being hard. That's why over there, you can have anything that you need in the house. You don't have to like here, maybe you don't have soap to wash or something. They have everything. You can push you. They have small machines that can wash your seat. Everything that, how can we make everyday productive?
I mean,
you know?
Asians generally, they are hard workers. And what I learned and found out very quickly is in Norway, you know, you have work-life balance. Work 7 days, come home, relax, take it easy.
Yeah.
China, there's no work-life balance. China,
it's just
work. It's just work.
Yeah.
So you have one guy who's working 12 hours a day, and because of the population, there's so many people that one person, that one job, 2-3 people are doing the same job. They work in 24 hours in order to complete that job. They have the masses of the people. Right?
Yeah.
So here in Norway, you have one guy who's coming here, working 7 hours, going home, sleeping, relaxing, coming the next day. In China, you have the guy who's doing the same job for 12 hours, going home. Another guy is coming to replace him, working the whole night, and then he comes back the next day. So 24 hours, the work is being done by 2 or 3 people. So that's the result of China. This China that you are seeing is 30, 35 years that they have built this country.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I was talking to someone not too long ago. They were like, you know what? They want to travel to China. I'm like, why? It's like, they are so many years ahead in certain stuff that he wants to go and just, because if you can go there and just see some of the things that they're doing, you can come back and replicate it, like do the same thing that we don't have yet.
That's true.
Right.
And you don't even have to go so many years back. China or Japan, they were looking like a third world country.
100%.
And in the span of 30 years, what they've done is just unbelievable,
It's
man.
crazy.
It's
You know,
insane.
what you're seeing flying cars, you're
Yeah,
seeing
bro.
flying buildings, you know. It's
Telling you,
crazy.
man, it's crazy what they're capable of
Yeah.
doing,
Right.
bro.
So for me, I'm super proud to been in China, lived in China, experienced that, experienced the people, the culture.
Yeah.
They are. If I can, as a black man, right? We talked about it a little bit earlier. The racism in Norway, you know, we live here, we experience it. The racism in Norway is kind of behind, it's under the table. You know, it's body language, the way they look at you, eye contact, right? How they behave when you're around. But best believe me, behind your back, they're talking.
Yeah.
Jävla neger, liksom.
Yeah, man, that's true.
That's true. In China, it's completely different.
Yeah.
China is straightforward. A person
that?
is telling you, why are you so black? Right? Oh, don't you shower? Right?
Okay.
Ooh, you're smelling. Right?
Okay.
But what I found out after many years
Yeah.
is I don't think it's really genuine hate or racism.
No.
I think it's just ignorance.
Ignorance.
Right? Because you have to understand, 85-90% of Chinese population they live in a rural area. They're from the village.
You said 80%?
100%. I think 80% of the Chinese population is from rural village area.
Yeah.
So you will see a baby, you know, you will see a mother and a baby walking in a mall. They see you, they'll be like, oh, they go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They come, they want to take a picture with you, you know, start looking at start rubbing your hand,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's mainly, call it ignorance and curiosity. That's why
Right.
they're asking these questions.
And
Right.
just on that, like you're saying, racism in certain countries here, like in Norway and in Europe in general, is under the table. I like it when I'd rather you be straightforward and be hateful instead of you hiding it.
Yes.
And I know that you're gonna be at home on your TV watching some TV show, be like, I should have like nigga night.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but in public, hi,
Right.
like just be straight.
Right.
You know? And
in public and in your face, they are so kind.
yeah, they're so kind. And so I'm like,
have you
I
seen
can
Teva2? Have you seen Teva2 on the Instagram? Teva2, the comment section.
No,
No.
it's insane, huh?
Yeah.
Utlending, dra tilbake til landet ditt.
Yeah.
Jävla neger. Hva gjør du her? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, I have the application every time you see an offense, right? You see a white guy who does something. Oh my God. It's kind of subtle types of comments. As soon as it's an immigrant or a person from, a black background. What is he doing in our country? Go back to where you're from. Don't do this here. Yeah, right? So behind your back and behind their phone, they're very active.
Yeah.
and also in the job market, right? In Norway, they would rather choose a Christian Johansen or Erik Eriksen than a Abdullah Mohammed,
Yes.
right?
And Christian Eriksen have 1 year of experience, and then Abdullah Mohammed, they're like 5 years of experience.
True.
But you're like, wait, you're looking for someone with experience. Why? What does a
Right.
name have to do with it?
Anything, right?
You know?
So, I mean, that's why people like me would, we can come back to that. When I came to Norway, I never wanted to be in that position. Oscar, be here knocking on the door, searching for jobs and not getting there. You have to try to figure out your own problem.
Yeah, 100%. Just take you back to what you mentioned about curiosity in terms of the skin tone, right?
Right.
I was told this story by from Eastern European, maybe Russia, right? Where as a kid, they wanted to have. They say, "Yeah, I'm going to have so many kids, 4 kids, for example."
Right.
But then this is way, maybe over 20 years, right? And then when they saw a black person for the first time, they started crying. Like, why are they so black? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and then like, I don't want to have kids anymore. Because they thought, that could be their kids, right?
Yeah.
But it was mainly due to ignorance, right? They didn't know, they have never seen someone with other type of skin tone before.
Right.
So,
Even the kids, right? They made a social experiment where they put a white doll with blue eyes and a black doll with black hair and brown eyes, right? And then they will put some cameras and they will let children come and they will ask the children, which doll is the most beautiful? They will say the white doll. Which doll is more kind? The white doll, right? All the children,
Even black children.
even black children. So this is a type of a brainwash that's going on, in social media. It's out there. So interesting.
Yeah.
How they're playing that game.
Me, I'm gonna say it right away. My children, doesn't matter where they come from, they're gonna have black dolls. That's what it is. Out loud, and I'm proud of saying that.
100%.
Yes,
I mean, I agree with you.
They're only gonna have black
Right.
dolls.
Right, I agree with you. I mean,
That's gonna be like.
I have now a 10-year-old, a 10-month-old daughter,
Yeah.
and trust me, she's the boss of the house.
Yeah.
She plays with whatever she plays with. She haven't reached that doll era yet. But I want to buy her a doll that looks like her. To be honest with you, right? Beauty shouldn't be defined by what the society think is beautiful. We have to make sure that our children love them.
Yeah.
Be
Of
told
course.
they're beautiful every day.
Yeah.
and
100%.
and since you're in your child and you've been into selling and marketing, do you feel like you now that when you came back keep doing what you kept doing has given you now today that you have a family the freedom of expressing yourself and giving the freedom of being home with your children because you did marketing and business now you've come so far where you can be a father but you don't have that stress,
Right.
you
I
know,
mean,
so-
the stress, you come back from China, right? If I can, because that's where we ended.
Yeah.
Come back from China, the business doesn't go well. You come back, you have a paper, you have a degree, right? And throughout my whole life, one thing I've been good at is reinventing yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Trying to become a new version, reinventing.
Yeah.
So I come back to Norway. I try to search for jobs. This is what any normal person do with your degree.
Yeah.
But I have a degree from China, and I've learned it in English. And you live in Norway.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it approved in Norway?
It's approved.
Yeah.
But then again, when you're searching for a job, the jobs that you're searching for will tell you we need experience, right?
Exactly.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We need experience.
So how did you join corporate Norway then? Like,
Then comes back to what am I good at? What can I do?
yeah.
Right? Sales.
Yeah.
Great salesman.
Yeah.
I believe or think, right? So, but you have to start from somewhere.
Of course.
So I come back to Norway. I come back to the friends that I've known my whole life in Trondheim. Meet them here and there. I see these guys. Nobody's doing anything with their life. People are drinking alcohol or smoking weed and doing whatever we was doing was 15, 16 years. Thinking, I don't want to be a part of this. I have to remove myself from this.
Yeah.
And this is everybody. This is Norwegian friends that I had. This is foreign friends that I had. Probably one or two had a career, had a job. Rest of them was laying back, chilling. Thinking life is hoo hoo ha ha. Thinking what's going on, right? I land my first job. It's a sales job, and at that time it's called very sure, and you have to sell alarm.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you had I get the job. You meet at the office around because this is an evening job, right? That's the only time you can sell alarms is when families are back home from the job. You meet at the office around 4 o'clock.
Yeah. While they're having their dinner, you need to catch them.
I need to catch them, right? So at 4 p.m. you meet at the office. the boss, he will tell you, you have to do this, you have to sell this, you have to sell this, so many alarms. They will give you a bag, and you jump in the car of a team leader, right? Team leader. This is winter, guys. This is October, November, December. It's snowing. It's ice cold.
Yeah.
They'll give you a little jacket, and they'll tell you, these are so many alarms you have to sell. You can't come back before you're done selling this.
And you're in Trondheim at this point.
I'm in Trondheim.
Oof, it's cold.
Right? And the team leader, he's in a warm car. he has a company car, warm car. He takes us to a neighborhood and he drops us off.
Yes.
Me and 3 other guys.
Yes.
He sits in his car, relaxed, warm. He waits there for us for 3-4 hours while we're knocking on doors while it's snowing, trying to sell alarms. Right? Thinking I can nail this. And the thing is, there is no salary here. There is no monthly salary.
So it's commission based.
100% commission based. 100%. So whatever you sell is whatever you eat.
Wow.
Right?
Imagine, that's Norway.
That's Norway.
Just letting people know, yeah. People are insisting there's only good work here.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, that's
there is hustle.
true. You have to hustle, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this for 4, 5, 6 months, knocking on doors. Every type of insults, every type of, bad look, disgusting look that they give you when they open up their door, I've been through it.
You've seen the worst of the worst.
Seen the worst, knock on the door. Before you even knock, you see the window, you see a family with their children, they're warm, I'm cold outside trying to make a living, sell an alarm. You see them, relaxed, just ate dinner, knock on the door, and I want to sell an alarm. And then they open the door, they look at me, they're like,
boom, in your face.
In my face. They don't even want to hear what I have to say. I have to go to the next house, knock. Sometimes they even look at the window, they don't want to open the curtains. Oh, wow.
Damn.
Like this bitch ass nigga is here to steal our money.
What is he doing here?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a family? Get a real job.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
That guy opens the door, he tells me, oh, you just woke up my daughter.
Oh.
Get a real job. Close the door.
Damn.
Right?
Damn.
So that was 6 months of brutal
rejection.
and
but the
going through the worst.
resilience you built through that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I say, you know what? Maybe this is not for me. let me try to find another, way to.
Who would you recommend then if it's not for you?
No recommendation. Right? Maybe this is not for me. This is tough. This is not for me.
Yeah.
So, but I knew I was good at sales, and I knew I could sell. But I have to figure out now which industry, what product.
Yeah.
I sat down, I'm thinking, look, I would do some research. I'm thinking real estate, selling houses, insurance. Okay, selling cars, right? While I'm in the research process, a friend of mine called Arivan Khalid, until today we have a great relationship.
Yeah.
He lives in Drammen. He just married as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he married a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He invited me for dinner. Yo, Omar, you just came back, from China. 4 or 5 months. I haven't seen you for a long time. Come. My wife, we want to invite you for a dinner.
Yeah.
I say, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll go to his house. And you know how God works, right? When you are in a process of intentionally wanting something, he will put a sign in front of you, right? He will put a certain sign in front of you.
Maktub.
Right,
Yeah.
Everyone tells me, come to the yard, let's eat some food. I will introduce you to my wife. All right, cool. So I go to the house. They prepared food. We sit down, we eat. And I just asked him, yo, what do you do? He tells me, I work in insurance. I say, oh, tell me about insurance. He says, man, insurance is amazing. This is insurance. Right now in Norway, it's the most lucrative selling job you can find. Better than cars, better than real estate. If you're really, really good at it, you can earn amazing money. I say, how can I get in? He said, I'll talk to the boss tomorrow, see if we can get you an interview.
Nice one.
That's how I got my first insurance job.
I see.
Man, what a experience. Like you've taken us from back home, bring back and forth to China to here, and then now to Norway to the call to your first insurance job. Yeah, what an experience,
Right. So he tells me, listen, I'm gonna talk to the boss. I don't know, maybe not, right? So this is now the biggest. Right now, they are the biggest insurance agency in Norway, right? They have more than I think 600 or 700 insurance agents.
All right.
And the guy calls me. He say, "Yo, Adivan told me, you can sell. Why did you come for an interview?" I go there. Gives me an address. On a bus. I haven't earned no money for the past 5 months because I haven't sold no alarms. Right?
Nah.
So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this can be better. So I go to the interview. In the carway, I'm seeing Ferraris, seeing Porsches. I'm brand new.
Awesome.
I see a Bentley. When I see the Bentley, I almost
He was spent out.
I'm thinking, what's going on here?
Yeah,
There has to be something. Right?
Yeah.
How? I'm thinking how? I go inside and I'm seeing energy. I'm seeing live. I'm seeing sales. I'm seeing.
You liked it straight away.
I liked it.
Like I feel like home.
Yeah, this is adrenaline, right? There's something going on here.
Yeah.
So I sit down with the guy. We start talking, and he just asked me, "Okay, what have you been doing? Blah blah blah. What is your experiences? This, that. You understand?" He didn't like me at first. Later he tells me, Omar, when you came to the interview, I didn't want to give you no job. I didn't like you.
Did he tell you why?
He told me because he thought I was too cocky. Because I told him, listen, I want to come, give me a chance. I'm going to be the best seller here.
Yes.
From the get-go.
Yeah.
I was so hungry.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
hungry.
it depends whether that is being cocky or just confidence. Right?
It is, it's a really good question that you asked that, because I feel like in Norway we all trying to keep everyone on the same level. Like if they feel like you're confident, they feel like, oh, you're cocky, you should put yourself down because he was trying to give you a job. But like, listen, I'm trying to tell you that I can bring something.
100%.
I'm not trying to look like if I'm different than somebody that you had. Even if you had somebody that is better than me, I'm telling you right now. I'm sitting in this
100%.
interview right now. I know myself better than you. Don't know me yet. It's your first time. But you want to make a better living. You want this company to go higher.
Right.
You're gonna take me for
100%.
granted. You're gonna feel like I'm being cocky.
100%.
And that's what I'm like. The young Teloven,
Right.
But it's okay that we have that. But we should stop doing that. Even some Norwegians, I feel like they are way better than others.
Right.
But they agree to be on the same level because
Right.
That's where we are. Bro, I tell my friends sometimes, I'm
Right.
like, why you put yourself in this situation?
Right.
You're better than. They go, bro, I can buy that.
Yeah.
That's your fucking problem.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, listen, being confident is being positive confident is very important, right? Believing in yourself, trying to be better, pushing yourself, trying to get the chance or the opportunity and going for it. That's very important.
100%.
But being blatant, disrespectful person who think they are better human being than others, I have a problem with that.
Yeah, of
I don't
course,
think human beings, as a human being, we should treat each other with respect.
Yes.
But if you're confident in the field that you're in, right? When it comes to sales, at that time, I'm thinking, this is sales. I'm good at sales. Whatever product, whatever it is, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm going to be the best. That's my mentality.
It's a good one, though.
So I'm trying to explain this to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Either way, my friend Adivan convinced him, this guy is going to be good.
Yeah.
And I got the job.
Yeah.
Right? This time we're probably 60 people at that office. And on the wall, the first day you come in, you see records. 2 million sold, 3 million sold,
Okay.
million sold.
Yeah.
How much did he earn?
Yeah. What's the commission on that one?
Commission on that one.
Yeah.
Because when the work, he told me flat out, he told me the contract. Listen, there is no fast.
Oh, there's no base
supervision
salary
there as well.
There is no commission.
Okay.
This is like 100% commission.
Oh,
Whatever
wow.
you sell, you can earn. I'm thinking, listen, I have a laptop, I have a computer, and I have a roof over my head, and it's warm. I'm gonna
Better than being in the cold, right?
100% better than being in snow and selling alarms outside. So I told him, watch me. And the boss, he was laughing. All right. Then. The first month, I didn't sell nothing. Second month, I think I sold 50,000 or something, which is nothing, right? Third month, I think I sold 100,000, which is nothing again. The commission at that time was 15%, right? Of everything you sell, right?
Yeah.
So the first 3 months, I've earned 15,000 crowns. That's 5,000 a month,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what's going on? So I'm talking to the best guy.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to share nothing. Norwegian guy. He's called Adrian Olsen. I remember you till today, Adrian. Right? I remember
Shout
you
out.
till today.
Shout out to Adrian.
I was asking him, what are you doing? Right? What's going on? Like, he's sitting next to me and he's selling 2 million a month.
Oh,
and
yeah?
I'm struggling to sell 100,000.
Oh, wow.
Right? Thinking, what's going on? So I decided that time it was me and a guy called Håvard Ølen. Håvard Ølen, he was a guy who elderly guy, 34, 35 years old. I was a guy who was 28, I think at that time, no, 27 that time, 26, 27. I hadn't got married yet. He had received a house loan, which he parted away. So he was in debt 2 million kroner.
Yeah.
He was in minus 2 million kroner.
Yeah.
The only reason why he got this job is if you work hard at this job and become good at this job, you can pay that debt faster than a normal job.
Yeah.
And I had nothing, I had nothing on my name, zero,
no.
right? Failed business in China, failed alarm selling business as a worker.
But I'm not sure if I would call that failing, though. That was...
I mean, it's a journey.
Yeah,
You learn from it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
come back. You learn. You learn through the journey, right? But it was failure still. We didn't succeed, right?
Wow. Yeah.
So me and him, we agreed. Listen, you have a goal. I have a goal. I want a 1 million kroner netto on my account, and you want to pay your debt. What are we gonna do to do that? Right? He told me and you, we have to work.
That's what he said. We got work to do.
We got work to do. Right?
Yeah.
So we decided we gonna come earliest and we gonna come latest. 9 to 9 we was working. Me and Håvard. Within 6 months we was one of the best sellers in the company.
Look at that.
Awesome.
Right?
That. Yeah.
So that just shows you, determination and grit and hustle can take you far.
Yeah.
And also the fact that, because you guys were just into that, like you say, you can call it failure, you can call it another thing, but the fact that a lot of people have been going through what you went through, who have change fields. Be like, you know what, I've been in this field so much, nothing is working, I'm looking for actually change my life.
Right.
Let me look elsewhere. But you kept on going.
Yeah.
You kept on going.
Right.
You kept on pushing. You kept
Right.
on pushing. You got people
Right.
look at you like you can't. You figure it out. And I keep saying for the people that sticks, people like sometimes, if it doesn't work, quit it. Man, I'd rather fight somebody that have trained different styles
Right.
all their life than fighting some person who have trained the same style all their
100%.
life, because when they hit you with that one, you're on the floor, man, you're never gonna wake up.
Not
Because
right.
they know they're
Right.
good, you're standing, I'm good at this is what I'm gonna keep doing.
100%. 100%.
You know?
I mean, some people, they're wired a little bit different.
Yeah.
I think I had the pressure of, being the oldest in the family, taking care of being a good example. My mother putting this pressure on me of being successful.
Yeah.
The self-pressure on myself on what is success, and the center field of all of that is money, right? I thought. And then you get to a point where you're about to get married, get to know my wife,
Yeah.
and she tells me, I want a marriage, I want a wedding. And you don't take no loans out of, in Somali wedding, that's 400,000 cash
Yes.
on the table,
Yes.
right? So where are you gonna get that money?
You're laughing.
I'm laughing because I know one day is going to come.
Right. So
Right price.
that's
telling you, man.
and then that's 400,000 for just the wedding, right? And then comes the bride price, and then comes the gold, right? I mean, the Somalis out there, they know what I'm talking about, right? It's expensive to get married, so I had to even put extra push to make that happen for her, right?
Yeah.
So constant pressure. When your wall is against the wall, and you have that, you don't have nowhere to go.
Now you're already there. There's nowhere else to go, man. You have to just
have
keep
to go
pushing.
forward.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that.
Yeah. So basically, after getting into corporate Norway,
Right.
And meeting your wife,
Right.
you also had a new role, fatherhood.
Right.
You mentioned briefly that your daughter is 10 months, right?
True.
And it changed your life, isn't it? Like you
100%.
mentioned, everything is also
100%.
about her. You're building for her.
100%.
Legacy that you might want to leave.
Right.
All that. So, yeah. just walk us through that a bit more.
Yeah. So I mean, what happened was I was working in that company for 3 years. I met my wife. I bought a house in Trondheim, and I told her, listen, I got a house here. Come, let's live here, right? And she said, no, you have to move.
Yeah.
So basically what happens, I moved to Asker, right? No questions asked, right? So I moved to Asker right before, and that means that I have to also change job or change office, right? Because we were in Trondheim, and I seen that Storebrand, the company that I'm working for, also have an office in Drammen.
Oh, I see.
So I told him a month, 3 months before, listen, I'm moving, I'm getting married, I have to move office. The same boss who didn't believe in me, by this time, I've become a senior. By this time, my salary has gone up. By this time, we have got a good report. He told me, listen, I'm opening up a new office. I want you to become the office manager there.
Awesome.
I want you to open this office for me.
Wow,
And what stuck with me was that first impression. And the kind of guy he's been. He was a guy who looked at his own pocket all the time. He sensed those people, right? So I told him, sorry, I want to go here. So I moved, got married. So with that move also came, different types of responsibilities. In the sales department or in the sales industry, period. The more a better seller you become, the more responsibility you get. You become a team leader, you become an office leader, you become a sales manager, right? You sales executive. And then in the end, you're in a point where, I've chased the money, I've earned the money, I've traveled around the world, and you become a father. The break, stops. Reality hits. It's like, okay, what's really life? What's life about? Right?
What was the conclusion to that question?
The conclusion is the freedom. 100%.
Yeah.
Being able to waking up early in the morning, take my daughter to kindergarten. Leave work at 2 or 3 if I want. Go pick her up. Right? Come home. Spend time with her, play with her, put her to bed.
Yeah.
That's what life is about for me. Traveling with my wife, my daughter. Have the freedom to do that, right? So with all the responsibilities that I had in this office today, I could have never done that. So I came to a conclusion where being the hungry guy who wants more recognition and more leadership, that's not me anymore. Done that. Breaking records, being the top sales guy, done that, chase money, all of that. Put that to the side. Reality is now you have a princess that you have to be a good example for. So I want to be a present father.
Yes.
That's
And that's really amazing to hear, man. I'm just gonna touch in because you also gonna mention it when you mentioned like earlier you going to your boss that didn't react well at you when you opened up the other office and wanted to be a team leader. Going back, I also feel like he also maybe was in doubt the first time when he said, I didn't like you the first time. But what I was gonna say was, man, sometimes for me, I don't look at it as being also not arrogant or anything, but I feel like it's the passion. Because when you're in China, you're passionate to selling. You're so passionate, but sometimes your passion can come forward as being cocky.
100%.
But it's just too much. Certain people has less passion. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. People hate, but it's not like he's cocky. No, he has too much passion for what he does. Some people have way too much passion than others, and he can come forward as being cocky. But it's like, no, that was just passionate. He was just passionate to what he does. And you don't find a lot of people with that, man, that you're passionate for what you do. Man, it's not everyone that has it.
I mean, that's also one of the keys to life, right? It's, okay, what am I interested in? Like, what do I like to do? Try to make that an income. Try to make that an income, right? And then just guns blazing, because you already like it, you're already passionate about it. It doesn't feel like work, and you just give it a go and see where it takes you.
100%,
right?
100%.
So in the company that I work for, it's a huge financial conglomerate. I think New York Times made a Fortune 500, and Storebrand became 41 in the world globally.
Wow. Globally. Wow, big up.
Right? Yeah. So they've been in the market for 300 years. So these are serious players, right?
Yeah.
their banking, their pension, I think in Norway they own probably 2/3 of the market when it comes to pension.
Wow.
Oh, really?
All the people who work in companies in Norway either have pension in Storebrand or they have pension in which is,
No?
KLP, which is
I see.
the commune,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So 2-3 months ago, they made a sales competition. All the sales people in Storebrand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
They said top 12 sellers will get a free trip, round trip, to Italy. Motivation,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
Why? It's not recognition. You've been there, you've done that, but it's just what are other people who are in that league, that 0.05%? What are they doing?
Exactly. It's about being top of the league like Arsenal.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Useless.
Top of the league.
You see, this is why they don't win. This is why they don't win.
Arsenal fan.
Arsenal fan. This is why they
They're
don't
about
win.
they're about to lose Premier League. They're about to lose Champions
Just
League.
watch.
Mark my word.
Just watch.
Mark my words.
Just watch. This cockiness. You see people. This cockiness. You see people. out
We
there.
talked about it's about confidence, you know what I mean? It's confidence, right?
Right,
You know what? Just on that note, right? My barber, he's a Liverpool fan, and normally I get one line, right?
Right.
So I went to him previously, nearly, right, not too long ago. I was like, "Yo, bro, give me 2 lines. One is the Premier League and the other is Champions League."
What do you say? You just
What do you see, brother?
He's ready to win.
Right.
But if we don't get both of them, I have to remove one of them.
Right.
Or just cut all your hair because you're laughing.
So when they announced that competition, I'm thinking this is in February. This was in February and March. Those 2 months.
Yeah.
There is this forbund called Huseiernes Landsforbund. It's like a forbund for all the people who own houses in Norway, like lawyers who help them with any type of conflicts regarding their property.
Yeah.
So they have a samarbeidspartner with Storebrand, working class with Storebrand, and they wanted to see how can we increase our membership. So including in the membership is we was able to give a free membership 1 year for all the customers who become Storebrand. So for February and for March, out of 800 people, we became top 10, and we went on a holiday now in April. Right?
Yeah.
That's I mean, in student, then you're a part of the 0.5 class, right? Now you go there and you want to figure out what are these people doing? What's the number guy? Number 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you figure out?
I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm Muslim, I'm halal, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at dinner, we're there, Michelin restaurant in Italy, trying to eat some food. After 1 glass, 2 glass, 3 glass, I see him starting to get red. Right? I'm the only African there. I think it's only 1 Asian guy or 2 Asian guys. The rest are Norwegians, right? What's going on? What are you doing? Because this guy last year, he had a month where he sold 4 million. 4 million in insurance. Commission of 18%. I think he earned probably 500,000-600,000 crowns that month. It's crazy.
That's money that people earn for
a year.
That's
a
it.
year or
That's
something.
annual
Right?
salary. Yeah.
It's crazy. So I'm asking him, how? What are you doing? Right?
Yeah.
Even when he is drunk, not sharing.
That's sharing.
So I understand. Once you hit that, and you're number 1 guy and the top guy, and you kind of don't want to share.
Well, I mean, it depends. Though. I mean, because one thing is, I believe in sharing what you know to make the people around you better.
True.
Right.
True.
So especially if you see himself as a leader, right? You want to make sure that by the time you step out from your current position, there is someone that is capable of actually performing. That's like again, for example, it's not directly as having a kid for yourself, but it's like, I mentored that guy. You know what I mean? I mentored him. Now look how much he's achieving. He achieved more than what I've done.
Right.
Similar to what you actually did, because when you came in this Norwegian company, and first 2 months you made like 100 and then 50 and then something, and then you could have chose to keep going by yourself, but you look at somebody else who was struggling,
of course.
and you say, okay, how do we do this?
Yeah.
You could have chose also to be number one by yourself.
Of course.
And I feel like that's something here. A lot of people, even like Scott can come every month.
Yes.
You can ask people like, oh, so did you get anything from Scott? Nah, I don't know. I'm gonna check. It's like, I know you've checked. Like, even though they don't want to tell you like, this is Scott. You can just tell me how much percent you have in there, because maybe I fail. It's gonna help me know how much percent I can put in. Nah, they don't discuss that. I figure it out by yourself. Oh, call them. You're like, dude.
I mean, Norway, they have that culture which is called the independent. You have to figure it out.
Get that
type
fuck
of
out
culture,
of here,
right?
bro.
Like you see an old lady. She fell down when you were driving past or whatever, and you get out of the car, try to help her, and she tells you, no. Why are you helping me? That's their culture. They want to figure out all by themselves, right?
Well, we all need a helping hand now.
100%. 100%.
So me now, I've started to live like that.
Yeah.
I know that I need it. I'm only getting help for the people that I need to. Anyone that Norwegian, I'm showing them that I can figure it out by myself. And they get surprised when you're not Norwegian and figure it out by yourself. They're like, oh, how did you do? Why? How are you here? We're not supposed to walk in here. Me, I walk in there with my chest up like I own the place.
100%.
Yeah, now I'm by myself. What you gonna tell me now? Yeah.
That's right, Serge.
Come
That's
on.
right. That's right.
Bro.
Yeah. We have touched a lot of things here, man, and you touched on building a future for your daughter as well, and it's like you have built a career since you came back from China and established a family.
Right.
Now you're also thinking of a future for your daughter. Like
100%.
everything is to make sure that
100%.
You're building for her future.
Right.
And it's just hearing your story from the beginning, how your mom came to Norway.
Right.
Of course, she had to send you to Kenya to.
and man, but basically just what like you said, everything we just heard, I'm excited for your daughter because she has a father that just leaving you, being you every day in her life. She's going to be a strong daughter, man.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. I opened up a company in Norway, right? Actually, for that reason. After many years of working in the insurance company and being, doing sales. I mean, sales for me would never die. It's something that I'm passionate about.
100%,
Wake up every morning and I'm really passionate of doing it, right? And I figured out a little gap in the market. Have you heard about Tjenestetorget? Bit.no. Have you heard about Bit.no? Yeah, Bit.no. So it's basically a website where Norwegians go and they put in their, for example, if they have insurance, if they have the kind of electricity, strømleverandør they have. But since we work in an insurance company, they put in all of their insurances, their car insurance, their house insurance, their life insurance. And then it will automatically be sent to 3 companies. Right? Maybe it's Storebrand, maybe it's Gjensidige, maybe it's If. And the guy on the other side will call this customer and give him an offer. So in the insurance market, you're constantly working for leads. But that's the lead. Right? So the company that I opened, even though I'm working in the insurance business, it's a lead generation company. So for other agencies and for other companies who are representative of insurance companies in Norway, they get qualified leads from us. So it's like a motor that's constantly driving itself. So it doesn't need me to be there, right? So we built this and it's out there and it's kind of generating leads for insurance sellers.
I see.
And on the side as well, I'm a sales executive, so I do my own sales. I love it. It's like a field of game for me,
Love that.
So when now I have the freedom to be there for my daughter and raise her and be a part of her life, that was a constant decision that I made. When my daughter gets to some age that she's in kindergarten, I'm out of the sales leader, office manager, being there early, leaving the latest, motivating others, training, doing interviews, hiring people. done with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a new page.
Yes, it is, man. Because you want to give all of that now to your daughter.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's about, building for the future.
Right.
And that's what you've done. You've already built the foundation
Right,
so
right.
that, there will come a time where you won't have to be there, right? This machine that you're building will take care of yourself
Right.
and your
All right.
family.
Exactly, man.
We're trying, we're just trying. Probably if it fails, you just continue. Resilience. Reinvent yourself.
Right?
You have
Inventing
to.
yourself, yeah.
Always.
So, like Albert was saying, we've kind of touched everything.
Yeah.
I always have something that I usually ask.
Yeah.
Is there anything that, if there is a kid out there, it can be from Somalia, Norwegian, or in China that still knows you, or a child of a friend that want to do the similar things, or take path that you did. Is there anything that you can leave them with?
I mean, sales is if I can ask you guys a question. When you hear the word seller, what comes into your mind?
Well, I mean, me personally, I believe that everything is sales, right? Everything is sales. I had to sell you the idea of this podcast to
100%.
be here, right? At the same time, sell have some negative,
Right.
call it,
Reputation.
reputation. Yeah, so, but they are,
And what is that negative reputation? Scammer, trickery.
because there are
Right.
some aggressive sellers out there, right?
100%.
Right. There's some aggressive sellers out there that will basically do anything
100%.
to get into your pocket,
100%.
right? And those are the ones that have maybe ruined the reputation of
100%.
sellers.
100%.
But sales in general, I think everything is sales. We have to sell our idea to other people to
Yourself.
believe in us. We have to sell ourselves to the hiring manager to believe
Right.
that we can actually do the job,
100%.
right? So, personally, I've been in the sales
Yeah.
business as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What about you, Serge?
I mean, it's the same like you said, but if I'm going to put it in one word, I would say solving solutions.
Right.
That's what comes in my head when it
Right.
comes to sales, you know,
Right.
because you're solving a solution that someone have an
Right.
issue with.
Right.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. And also on a personal path, being, if you want to be a great salesman or if you want to get into the sales industry, it teaches you discipline. It teaches you how to be, on time, very calculated, being quiet within the storm, right? High tempo. Personally, it teaches you to become a better version of yourself that is more striking, right? So not only does it give you something that makes you a greater human being, better person, but it also gives you great opportunities wherever you go. If you master the skill of sales, I believe you would make it. You would make it. You're well off because it's a skill that is very hard to master.
100%.
But everywhere, anywhere, any company, any organization needs sales.
That's it.
Everyone out there, you hear? We all do need sales, man. We got quiet.
So
We got quiet.
he's-
We all do need sales.
Mr. Omar is recruiting straight away.
I know, right?
No more recruiting.
He's trying to recruit for his company already. You need to come into sales.
You mentioned you established a company. How long ago was that company?
Now it's 1.5 years old.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
almost 2 years now. After the summer in August will be 2 years. So it's going good. It's going great. It is driven by AI. So it actually doesn't need me that much.
Yeah.
I have a guy, who does all of the financing, setting the facturas and stuff like that. Other than that, it's kind of a self-sufficient, lead generator.
Awesome, man. It's good that you're taking advantage of the artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
The
we
early
have to.
stages.
Yeah.
We have to. We have to.
Yeah.
Other than that, and I appreciate you guys having me. It's been an amazing episode. Amazing talking to you guys.
Us too, man.
Really, really proud of you guys. You guys have
Yes.
come far.
Yes.
For everybody that's watching, these guys, we go way back.
Way back.
And
Flat heel.
Yes, sir.
I'm really proud of you guys, man.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Latile Rumulsha was just right under you guys.
Well,
and then
that-
been able to cut them. You know?
That's true. That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
And also because since I've been in this show so far, Live, Learn, Inspire, we actually had a lot of people that be like, when are you guys gonna have a business person? It's always just music and whatever. Now you got one, man. Not just anyone. It's about China, Kenya, Norway, up and down.
Amazing. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. No, finally,
Appreciate it.
You're the first one, so it's good, bro.
Well, again, man, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. All right.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to follow your journey with
Right.
your businesses and
Right.
everything that you're
Right.
working on.
We pushing, man. We pushing.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm 30. I'm becoming 32 in November.
Mm.
We have life. You know, 30 is the new 20.
Yeah,
Hey!
that's true. And black don't crack.
And black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
So we're moving, we're pushing, we're growing.
Yeah.
So we just tomorrow is setting the mind, right?
Right.
What are you guys
Right.
doing?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be in a dress, man. That's all I know.
No bunat.
Eh? Oh hell no! I'm not that integrated.
Would you like to explain what that is, though? The word you
A
just said.
bunad?
Yeah.
It's difficult. How can I explain?
Well, I would maybe put it as a Norwegian traditional costume,
Right.
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 That you normally wear around the 17th of May. That's the main, day that people
Right.
usually put that on.
But what is 17th of May though for the viewers?
Yeah, that would be the Constitution Day, isn't it, of Norway,
Right.
right?
Right.
So yeah.
Right. It's a national day.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that is happening tomorrow, and seems like.
And I was thinking about something before we finish,
mm.
And this is actually gonna be funny because
Mm.
it's so hard. If you could infiltrate Norway
Mm.
during war, what would be the best day to infiltrate Norway?
Whoa!
During the war?
Now, if you wanna take over Norway,
Yeah.
just pull up here 17th of May. Everybody's drunk.
Everybody's there. Everybody's outside.
Everybody's dead, bro. You just walking like it's nothing. The border will be full, like.
Right.
Yo, who are you trying to give a tip to out there, man?
I don't know, somebody out there. So they know, even our king and everybody, state minister, everybody is on the low, sleeping somewhere, drinking margarita.
Oh wow! Yeah. All right. Well, before we wrap up, once again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
on
having
and
me,
sharing
guys.
your
It's been
story.
amazing. Mm.
Yeah. And also, of course, we need to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Kawanzuri.
Yes, sir.
Kawanzuri Premium African Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing is that we noticed, our viewers, I think a while back I mentioned that it was 80%. But actually, I checked recently, it's about 90% of you that have not been subscribing to our YouTube channel. And it's not 90% because we have less people subscribing, but mainly because we have more people actually tuning in and checking the episodes, right? So you have more people coming in recently, watching our podcast. And, the only way you guys can actually help us grow more and is through subscribing, because that indicates that people are actually enjoying this show. So please do hit the subscribe button and like, comment, and subscribe. Share the content. Share the content.
We
because
have way too many viewers.
Exactly.
Very few that subscribe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
subscribe.
exactly. Listen to these guys, right?
Support the movement.
Yeah, man.
That's it. Yeah. And doing that will help us bring more guests, right, to the show. So do follow and subscribe, and thank you so much for tuning in.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap.